Welcome back, students. We are going to start with the today's new series of the video tutorial. That is, we are going to talk about the graphic tools, and in this entire session, we are going to learn a lot of things in the graphics, and specifically, we are doing this to learn how effectively a web applications can be created or websites can be created. So in this very first session, this could be your zero lecture, and in this entire session I would like you to perform some of the exercises when you come back in the doubt session. So this is our lecture 1, that is basics of Photoshop, and for that you require a Photoshop to be installed on your machine, and this and background graphics is tell something a lot what you can do with your graphic tools. So let's carry on further without any delay. So in this entire thing, there is certain course outcome and course orientation. The course orientation here means we are going to learn how knowledge enhancement can be done and how you can go and develop your soft skills. So throughout this course, you will learn that you will acquire how basic skills are required to enter into web designing career, how it is important to acquire skills for creating an effective web page, and so on for creating a web sites. We will also learn some different graphic design principles, some of the required things which will help you to understand how we are going to make our effective web development part. Let's carry on. And also, last but not the least, we are also going to learn HTML, CSS. So this could be your introductory in Photoshop learning, and eventually we will move toward the CSS and HTML learning, where we will learn a lot of things, right? So overview of the practical and experiment we are supposed to carry. And in this entire session, I would like you to kindly remember one thing. Please have your laptop with sufficient RAM, some storage, and also it is required, thus essential to have a laptop which is going to clear all the things. Basically, if I go and talk about installing the software, it requires some of the things like RAM, hard drive. Make sure that you have sufficient things. I would like to recommend you to have at least CS3 installed on your machine, or you can also go and have CS6. In this tutorial, I would like to install CS6, and we will have certain demonstration. So in this experiment, we are going to learn the basics, where we will learn how to work with the image, different color modes, explore to different Photoshop interface, navigating with the Photoshop, image size. Then we will learn with the layers, copying, altering, filtering layer. These are the things that we are going to work with the layers. We will try to have certain assignments also that you will learn, and then we will move toward the HTML part. We will explore some of the basic things. Then we will move toward the HTML advanced, where we will learn some list, hyperlinking, block oriented elements. What are that? Next, carry on, we will work with some embedded tag, tables, frames, web browser. We will also learn about how HTML forms can be designed, how we can apply the method, action method can be applied, form elements. We will also learn CSS and how it is going to be applied. Previously, the fact is that we are also learning CSS in between the HTML only, but we will go and explore, and we will recall what we have learned in the HTML to make sure our CSS learning is perfect. Okay, and after that, we will also learn one important tool, that is Dreamweaver. And for our practicals, we will cover the basic tool, that is Micromedia Dreamweaver 8. I would like to tell that Micromedia Dreamweaver 8 is now taken over by Adobe in 2015, and then you can use any latest version if you want to do that. But Dreamweaver 8 is sufficient for our lab, and I hope that you are going to have that part. So is it clear? Next, we will also learn in that how to install the Dreamweaver, how we can have an effective web content created, web page creation, frames creation, and also we will learn if I create a website or a web page, how we can test that in a real environment, how I can use certain methods like get and put, to make sure our website is running. So in this recommendation, I would recommend the two important textbooks. One textbook is there, and that is from the Dream Tech Vikas Gupta. You can also go for some reference copy, that is Comdex Multimedia Web Design, that will be also helpful. And apart from that, if you're if following my tutorial, I hope that you will learn graphic tools effectively. Let's move further. So in this entire, this was the weightage which was for the regular session. In your part, it will be a little bit different. I would not discuss a lot of things. We will discuss whenever the time comes to it. Performance evaluation, we will see how assignment based can be done over this part. This is the book preview, you can see over here. You can go for the reference copy also, but I prefer, it is not needed. If we are following the tutorial, that will be sufficient for you. Okay, so we are going to see with this lot of things that we have already discussed. So what are the tools? That is something, burning questions might be there in your mind. What are the tools? What is graphic tool? Why we are learning all these graphic tools? What are the outcome that we have already discussed, that we are going to cover? So what is graphic applications? So if you see some of the icons, you might be able to know that PS, basically Photoshop, Corel Draw is also there. We are not learning Corel Draw, but we must know some of the different applications that are there for designing graphics. So most of the important applications is the graphic designs. Graphic design software is used for designing the visual images which can be used effectively in your web development or in a gaming or anywhere wherever you feel. So what are the tools we have seen? Just have things that we are going to cover. We are going to cover with the Photoshop, and we are going to talk with Dreamweaver. So these are the most important or necessary tools that is required. That is the minimum requirement, minimum bare requirement to have a for your practical, right? Okay, and with Photoshop, if we talk Photoshop, it is the most widely or most popular tool in this world, we can say, in the graphic design, if we are learning, right? So why we use the Photoshop tool, that you can go and see the picture, you can go and correct the picture correction is very much possible. You can just make your portrait more effective, more l- lively, if you know certain important tools which are there to sharpen images, smooth image, and different layers, different filters you can apply on it. Okay, restoring can be also done for the old photos. If you have some blur photo like this, you can use the Photoshop tool to make it more lively or more uh, renovative or renew. You can also make different color modes, making black and white, dual tone, different modes are there. We will talk in the later part. Okay, so different understanding of the graphic application. So most of the important part, you are going to deal with bitmap, vector graphic, different vectors, 3D modeling, and most of the important part here, we are going to start with two important terms, that is called as the raster graphic and the vector graphics. So remember one thing, whatever or whichever is made with the pixels, that are called as raster graphics. Okay, so pixels means what? Number of dots per inch, that is a DPI, makes a pixel. And if there are more number of pixels in the per inch area, it is going to make your picture more sharpened, more uh, what we call as a more high quality pics. Okay, so whatever graphics we are going to create in the Photoshop is basically a raster graphic. Okay, for vector graphic we may mostly use Corel Draw. So we are not learning, but we must know the basic difference. It could be a question mostly asked in Viva things, that what is the difference between vector and the raster graphic. So you might be knowing, you can go through with this part and you will understand what are the things are there. Different types of graphics we have seen, image based graphics. So these are the creativity, guys. It all depends upon you how creative you can go and think, so that you can make an effective uh, creation. So this is basically image based graphics. This could be a type based graphics where a cat is represented with the cat. This is basically an image and type where we are using image and the type, and this is basically a symbols and logos. Most of the time symbols and logos are mostly made with the help of Corel Draw. Okay, so if you are feeling, you can go and have things to be drawn in Corel Draw will be very helpful. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, next. So getting started with the Photoshop installation. So I'm just going to share the screen and we will see how to install it. I will also share some demonstration, and then I hope that you all are going to do the same thing. These are the pics which shows some how a setup can be copied, how it can be installed, how the process will take, what are the different things we have to follow while installation. This is a demo purpose when I used to install CS5, but we are going to use here CS6. To how to get the particular product link, I will also share the link with you in the UMS. You can go and check out it. Okay, and in this entire session, our session is only to understand what is basically a graphics, how it is going to be useful, and how I can go and install a graphic tool software for my practicals. And I hope that you are going to do so. Without wasting time, let's go to the screen share and we will try to install. So I'm going to my shared document where I have just kept my Photoshop for installation. So this is my folder over here. I will go to my software location. As I have already told what you have to do, you just have to click on the setup button. It will start with the installation. So it will take a lot of time. In the meanwhile, if it is taking some time, what I will do, I will just make sure that I am keeping my screen idle for certain time, and in the meanwhile, if anyone who want to get the hyperlink to install, I'm just going to share you the link how and from where you can get it. So this is the first screen I'm getting over there. So what I will do, I will just start installing with trial version. Okay, click on it. There is a North America, it all depends upon you. Just click on the accept button, and now the installation is taking place. It is going to ask for certain ID. What you have to do, make sure that if you don't have an ID, you preferably create a new one, or if you have an ID, you can just log in with that particular ID. So let's see, I also have certain ID. So I will try to put my ID which I have created, and let's see what is going to happen. I also have a password. I'm doing the same thing. You can do for your own. Just go and create ID for it. Okay, it is not matching. Okay, just let me troubleshoot. Wait for a second. Okay, guys. So we are just going to create a new ID for it. So what I will do, I will click on Get New ID, and this step you might have to do it. You can put your name and you can put your email ID. You can put actually it requires a special character also. Okay, yeah, that's okay, and click on sign up. So now the moment I sign up, it will show me that yeah, installation will take place. What you have to do, whether you want, I just to click both the part to be installed, click on install button, and now it is getting to start, preparing to start my Photoshop, right? So let's wait. There is certain error going on in my machine. Acrobat reader has to be closed. Okay, what I will do, actually there is my Acrobat reader is installed running. What I will do, I will just close it so that there should not be any trouble in doing. So I have closed and I will click on the continue button, and my installation is learning, right? So what I will do, till this installation not get finished, I will stop the video, and then I will see how the moment it gets installed, I will come back. Okay, stay tuned, just hold on just for a few seconds. I'm just coming back. ओके गाइस, सो अभी हमारा ये इंस्टॉल हो गया है एडोबे CS6। आपको ऐसा दिखेगा यहाँ पे स्क्रीन। क्लिक ऑन द क्लोज बटन, देन आपको यहाँ पे लोगो आ जाएगा। मैं इसके पहले कुछ एक स्टेप कर लेता हूँ ताकि मेरा सॉफ्टवेयर इशू ना दे, बट डोंट वरी, मैंने आप लोगों के लिए जो टूल का लिंक दिया है, अभी मैं आपको लिंक भी बता देता हूँ। आप उसको इजीली यूज़ कर सकते हो विदाउट एनी इशू। आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ यू जस्ट हैव टू गो एंड check for the link, and you have to only click on it, and what will happen, it will just go and install the full version. Means you don't have to worry about what happened and how this particular entire thing will work for us, right? So the link which is provided to you. So I just want to show the interface so that you must get an entire satisfaction that my CS6 Photoshop is working. Okay. Uh, Preferably, I say that CS6 will be good, and yeah, it will show the license. Don't worry. Just start the trial. 30 days are given here. I just want to go and check Adobe CS6 and it will work for you, right? But in your case, it will not show there is a license or something is required. It will just go and work smoothly without any flaws. Is it done? So this is an interface. We will talk a lot on this interface. So in the meanwhile, before we leave, I have just provided the hyperlink to you. You can just download it, the CS, and make sure that it is installed in your machine. If you face any issue, we will discuss how this issue can overcome. And also, for safer side, please keep the link Micromedia Dreamweaver from you can older version of the Dreamweaver where we will learn our web designing, right? So I hope you have gone through with all this PPT, and please make sure that you are going through with this link. In the meanwhile, I'm also going to share this entire PPT with the steps for your better understanding. So I hope you don't have any questions. But if you have any questions, make sure that you are using the tomorrow's session where we will have a deep, in-depth discussions in our entire topic. So till then, take care. Have a nice day. We will meet in the next chapter. Learn a lot in the Photoshop. Okay. Bye bye.